Trying to find the plot again. I
I don't think you need to search for it, man.
So basically,
it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Seriously, man. I can tell you it now.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Then again.
1, 2, 3.
So okay, 1,
Yeah,
2,
3.
There you go.
Look at that in sync.
Sync finally.
Yeah.
We're doing double impact.
Double impact.
All right, let me just go through quick synopsis.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah. That's the first time I've seen that film, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I've seen Hard Target and all the others, like a few others. I haven't seen Double Impact before.
What was your first Van Damme movie that you ever watched then?
I think it was Universal Soldier.
Really?
Yeah.
You came in late then?
I came in late to Van Damme, yeah.
Why was that?
No, that's a lie. Kickboxer.
Oh, okay. Kickboxer was like 1989. So.
Yeah, with the dance and that. I saw that. Then it was Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
Then it was Hard Target.
So you skipped?
I skipped quite a few, yeah.
So you went from like 1989
all the way through to the mid-90s.
So you missed Bloodsport, AWOL, which was called Lionheart in America, and then what else did you see? And you missed
AWOL. I think I've seen AWOL, but it's forgettable. So I don't think it had any sort of impact on me, man. I'll be honest with you, man. You know, yeah. So I think I have seen that one.
AWOL was a classic.
Yeah. Van Damme, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the plot again.
I don't think you need to search for it, man.
So basically,
it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Seriously, man. I can tell you it now.
Two twins separated at birth.
Yeah.
Because their dad
builds a tunnel.
Builds a tunnel for some shady businessman, and they kill him
in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Then so for some reason they don't want his talent anymore, so they kill him.
Yeah, I don't understand that bit.
In the most savage way. That first bit, I was like kind of hooked in that first bit. I thought, okay, the setup's okay. This is interesting. And you know, minus all the, you know, the hair pieces and whatnot for the actor and stuff like that. But I actually thought the setup, okay, you got this powerful guy, you want to eliminate him, but then obviously you're doing it in the most savage way. I forget Matey Boy's name. Is it Bolo or something?
Bolo Young.
Yeah.
But he's not called Bolo in the film.
No, but he goes and obviously. There's quite a cold line that he says, you know, which he says, "Oh, what about my baby?" or something. And he goes, "Oh, you'll never know." And then blasts her in the face. I thought, "Whoa, that's cold." That was cold.
To be fair, I was quite made up that he actually had a line, because in Bloodsport he didn't really talk.
You know, yeah. He just looks mean. I thought, and you can see, like, if we've gone for the tangent, you can see where a lot of the influence, like, it reminded me of the Raid. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Raid. Like, you got the way the battle. You got the bad guy, you know, the guy with the long hair, and how he sort of fights them both at the battle sort of thing. There's a little shot later on in the film where he says, "Yeah, come on, me and you, we're gonna fight." You know
well, so you think that it double impact?
Yeah, I think, because the guy who directed it, he's like our generation, isn't he? And I reckon he would have been brought up watching these films. And
the guy who directed The Raid.
Yeah, The Raid. Yeah. So I can see he did it better. You know, he did it better. But you know, that's sort of. You know, you're going to have a face-off. Both of you kind of respect each other's level of fighting skills, so we're going to have a fight to the death.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I thought the premise could have worked. And then, you know, obviously, coincidentally, he gets dropped off at a French nunnery.
This is a bit, right?
Which is a crazy coincidence.
So I was pissing myself watching this bit, right? Because it's like, so the maid drops him off at a French nunnery.
Yeah.
And then, is his name Frank?
Yeah, Uncle Frank.
Yeah, Uncle Frank decides, instead of going back to America,
which would have been the obvious choice.
Yeah, let's go France.
Let's go to France. Yeah, so strangely they all have
we're gonna go France. Accent,
you know
we're gonna go France, and then we'll go back to America.
Yeah. But you know, I'll take you to France and I'm gonna teach you the skills of karate.
Yeah.
And somehow your brother in the nunnery, he's gonna learn on the streets.
Yeah.
How to throw some kicks as well. So
what I liked though was the different martial art styles that they had, where one was more aggressive and one was more balletic.
I didn't really notice that. I just saw a lot of kicking and hitting. I didn't really notice any sort of nuance to it.
Yeah.
I think if I'm gonna give it some credit, like Van Damme, I thought was convincing. Like when he plays the two characters, I know he has to like put a cigar in his mouth and slick his hair back. It probably doesn't take that much, you know, to play a bad guy in them days, sort of thing. but I was convinced that he was two people. You
Yeah,
know what I mean, there's certain mannerisms, certain like the other guy's a bit more innocent, a bit nicer.
Yeah.
There's different mannerisms about them that I thought actually I believe both of them as that they're two different people. Obviously, you know, you got to park all the CGI at the time was terrible, and you know it was very, you know, you can see all that stuff, but I believe them too. But then it's just like like when you're watching these films from back in the day, you start to really see it for kind of what it is. Like the women are just completely pointless in there.
Oh yeah, but let's just go back to like the beginning bit. It's just like the plot. I mean, the actual story was inspired by the Corsican Brothers by Alexandre Dumas, I believe it was. Van Damme co-wrote it with the director Shendel. I think his name is Sheldon Lettich. They wrote it together, and I think he wanted it as a piece where he could display his talents because he was getting fed up of just doing martial arts movies.
Yeah.
So that's why he wanted to play twins, so he could show like his range.
Yeah, he showed his range, I think.
To a certain extent. I think his range is limited, but what he did with that limit was fine for what that film was.
Yeah, I mean, he's no Daniel Day-Lewis, is he? You know what I mean? But I thought I was convinced that he was two people.
I mean, when I was a kid watching it, I was completely convinced it was two people.
Yeah, I was convinced it's two. You know, one guy's obviously bad and slaps his wife around, but you know, his girlfriend around, which is, you know, nuts really the way it goes. That just gets ignored later on. But yeah,
yeah,
you know,
it was the 90s, wasn't it?
It's what it is, yeah. And then you know, he's like, yeah, he is a bit one-dimensional.
Yeah.
The bad guy brother, and the good guy's probably got a little bit more to him.
See, the thing is, you know, when you call him bad guy brother,
yeah,
I think he's more nuanced than that, because you have to look at, because there's a bit in the film, and I think that was probably the most dramatic moment where he says, when they both have a kick-off with each other and they fight each other, and then he says something along the lines of like, I had to do everything for myself, basically, and then you see why he has that resentment towards Chad.
Yeah,
Chad, isn't it? Yeah, Chad is the American, the Hollywood one.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like
he's got another name, isn't he? Alex.
Alex.
Yeah.
So Alex is really upset, and that's why he has that. He has not vendetta, but he's just
probably like PTSD if you're gonna get into it deeply, aren't you?
Yeah, because he's just like, the fact is, Uncle Frank took Alex, gave him a good life and everything. They have a business and all that. Whereas Uncle Frank took Chad, Alex had to like fend for himself from the nunnery and work within the underworld to create the life that he had to have. He had no choice but to survive.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you look at it from that point of view, you can see that. But
and I thought that bit that was good, where it's just because you keep, as a kid, I always sided with Chad.
Yeah.
Because I just thought he's the clean cut one. He's the one that I kind of liked better, because I didn't like the bad guy version. Yeah. But now watching it, you can see where Alex is coming from and why he has a grudge against Chad, because he didn't have the same opportunities that Chad had.
Yeah.
And that's why when he says it, goes, I didn't have that, and then he walks off and all that.
Yeah, I get that, but I could have developed that more.
Yeah, and I think if that was done today, I think that would be, that whole aspect of it would be developed more.
Yeah, but if it was done today, you probably do it. The film would be from his point of view, wouldn't it? Don't you think?
No, I think you would probably have it still from two different points of view. Whereas, like, as an audience, you could pick who you identify with. Yeah. But I think Alex has more.
I'd like to see it from his point of view. Because I think there's more of a gritty story there. You know, this obviously European guy raised on the Hong Kong streets can't have been easy.
Yeah.
And then all the shit he's kind of gone through, and all of a sudden this guy looks identical to him. This rocks up with all this sort of privilege, you know what I mean? And sort of telling him, oh yeah, I'm your brother, and you know we've got rich parents, and let's team up and go and do battle and take it all back, sort of thing. Is a little bit unsettling. And I think they could, and also, you know, it's for a movie, you only got like 2 hours or whatever to try and tell that story. I'd prefer it as like a little mini series. You know, you can develop it more, you know, with the arc and stuff.
Yeah, because I just thought,
especially like with the fighting and stuff like that, I think you can do a lot with that actually.
Yeah. Plus the whole idea of like Frank is a bit, if you break it down, like, who is he and what kind of character is he, that he's just raised this kid just to exact revenge on these people that killed his employers? What type of life did he live?
I think there's more to it than that. I kind of saw Frank as he's a soldier.
Yeah.
And he's a loyal, like, American soldier. You know what I mean? Like he went through Vietnam and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's probably something owed to the guy. I feel like he's more than just his employer. I feel like he was like his proper friend.
Yeah.
And his friend probably, I imagine this whole backstory where when he came out of Nam, he was really broken.
Yeah.
And like, you know, he was just a complete mess. And then his friend, he was like, you know, I'll take you while I'm developing this business or whatever and all this sort of stuff. Why don't you come and work with me and stuff like that? You know what I mean? And his friend probably saved him and got him off the drink and got him to be a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, gave him the straight path.
I would have liked to see that. Oh.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it. You know what I mean? Because I think that's the only way you can justify the level of pain that he has when he turns that car around and goes and starts shooting up and like he puts himself in the war, doesn't he? Literally gets shot for his friend, and it's like obviously his friend's died and the other baby's been taken, so he's like, I'm gonna raise this kid, you know, out of respect and loyalty from a friend. You know what I mean? That's what I think it is.
Don't you think the opening sequence was so fast? The setup was so fast. It felt like I was watching an 80s Bollywood movie, right? With that setup, because if that was now, Frank would be looking for Alex.
Yeah.
He wouldn't just disappear and get on a boat with Chad.
Yeah, he'd be looking for both of them.
Yeah, he'd be like,
looking for both
where
of them,
the fuck did the maid go with the other kid?
With Alex and stuff like that, yeah. But I did like the opening sequence though. I did like the opening sequence.
It was a really good setup.
I thought it was set up all right. And also as well, though, I kind of respect those old movies in a way where it's like, let's just get straight to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes movies nowadays, it's just long. You know, they want to like build it up. Actually, let's get to the sweet spot. You know what the setup is. Now let's get to the action. You know what I mean? It's like straight away. You know, so I thought,
like another 10 minutes or 5 minutes, just to say, what the fuck's Alex, isn't it?
But what I did find a little bit odd though is so you guys do this heinous thing where you go and kill this guy and try and kill his kids, and then you leave all the evidence in the locker on a piece of paper and a file for someone years later to have a little snoop and quite quickly find. You know what I mean? And you kind of think, have you never been audited? Like, has no one ever come and audited your files? You know what I mean? It's like, why would you leave the evidence? I don't know what the evidence was. Did they say, we killed the guy who built the tunnel? This is not our company. We stole it.
Plot point.
Signed whatever. You know what I mean? I thought,
signed bad guy.
Yeah, bad guy. Like what evidence does she find? You know what I mean? I did like the female bodyguard character. I did like her.
I liked her, but at the same time, what I liked about it is, weirdly, if that was today, there'd be kickoffs all over social media saying, "Oh, you tried to girl boss her," and it's the woke that made her. Do you know what I mean?
All that anti-woke stuff. Yeah,
anti-woke shit. Right? So I like the fact that it was like early 90s, and you had a female character who was taking on the main lead as well in it, because she fights Alex, doesn't she?
Yeah, she fights Alex. Yeah. She reminded me of the bad girl in Die Hard with a Vengeance. She's just like, psychotic. You know what I mean? But I didn't like the way they killed her off though. Like her fight scene could have been much better. I thought you didn't get to that level of badness.
Yeah.
To just not be that good a fighter.
But they had to, because they had to Alex had to fight her, get rid of her, and then Chad had to fight Bolo Young.
I'd have thought if they were doing it now, or maybe they could have done it then, it would have been the girl that she's been trying to, his girlfriend. I'd have thought it would have been her that had somehow killed her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they had a bit of a girl off, and then
but then that's the thing. Girl off is a bit too cheap, though, don't you think? Because the girl could only be killed by the girl.
Not really. I don't know. I don't see it as that deep. I just kind of think it's probably empowering because she's been playing the victim. The girlfriend. She's been playing the victim through the whole thing. She didn't get any moment of empowerment in that whole movie. No. You know what I mean? She gets used to be basically a sex toy. Propping up Alex and his insecurities and post trauma and all that stuff that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
And then she gets slapped about by him.
Yeah.
And then she has to make it feel like it's her own fault and try to be understanding towards him, and then she just gets tied up and cries a lot, and she gets molested by that guy with the girl when she gets searched. You know
you
what
know
I
what
mean?
that is, don't you?
No.
Because it's an 80s action movie, a 90s action
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Well, you know what I mean? So I just kind of thought, where's her moment of, like empowerment? You know what I mean? I thought I might come. They're gonna have there's gonna be a fight, even if it's a case of she just jumps on her and puts something on her head, or you know what I mean. Like there's some moment where she gets
Yeah,
I've
I
got
get
you
you.
back.
So she
I've got you
gets
back
her
for hurting me and all this stuff and all this, but it didn't happen.
her arc goes.
Yeah, she just
she
basically
gets the closure that she needs.
She's basically a wet wipe for the whole of the
Pretty
film,
much.
You know what I mean? So
but again, that was the action. Those were the tropes of action movies back in the day.
Yeah. It's weak though, isn't it?
Yeah,
when you look at it now, through the lens of like 21st century or whatever, you look at these films now, you think, right, they really are bad. Like when it comes to sort of female empowerment and all that. And
but should we be watching it with 21st century eyes?
How can you not? How can you not? You know what I mean? Like, how can you not? You
try. There's no right.
You try and park it a little bit. Even when I've watched, old movie. I mean, it's like I can't really watch Gone with the Wind. Because it's like all the black characters are slaves in there. You know what I mean? It's just like I can't really empathize. Have sympathy for these characters here when all that else is going on. So that's probably like my limit. But there are 1940s, 1960s, 1970s films where there's just open, overt racism or whatever. But you kind of think, okay, well, we're watching it. You know what I mean? And because you got to park a bit of that just to try and understand the film or whatever. You know what I mean? So there's some of that stuff going on. But but you can't help but watch it from this lens because you see it. It's so obvious, isn't it? You kind of think, yeah, okay. This is a bit, and obviously all the films we've been watching recently, like the, Roadhouse and all that sort of stuff, they're all kind of the same. You know what I mean? You were saying as well, it's like, there's going to be a titty shot in a minute. There it is. Tick. All the women look a certain way. Tick. You know what I mean?
I was wondering as well why, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, when I was a kid, I loved that sex scene in Double Impact. But then as an adult now, you're watching it, you're thinking, why?
Yeah,
I mean, I get it to a certain extent. I felt like they shoehorned this in. I think we're going to keep saying this with all these action movies that they shoot like unnecessary. But I get it to a certain extent because it's Alex's imagination running wild. So it's not actually happening. It's what he's imagining that is happening between the two of them. And then you see it from, it could be any one of them imagining it because there's that sexual tension. She clearly likes Chad a little bit. Chad is attracted to her and Alex is jealous of Chad because he thinks that he's going to steal his woman. So all of them it's almost like all of them are having this same image or scenario in their head.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was mainly done apparently because Van Damme wanted to include a love scene just to show his range because there was no real love scenes in his previous films. And he was just trying to venture away from...
enough. But I've noticed though, in like recent films now, they don't really do love scenes anymore like that.
Yeah, they don't. And
sex scenes are kind of like they just don't get done, do they? And when you look back even up to like the 90s and the early 2000s, they're kind of like unnecessary sex scenes, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
they don't drive the plot.
You don't drive the plot. It's just like we need to put something to try and sell the film, a little bit. So let's have you half naked and all. But obviously, since all the stuff that's come out, all the nonsense that was going on, you kind of think, like if you're a director now, I mean, I think even Tarantino stays away from him. You know what I mean? But if you're a director, you just think. We don't. Unless it's going to drive the story, you don't need to be all that in there because what you're achieving really. So
I was watching a film the other day. It's called Desperate Hours. It's a remake of a Humphrey Bogart movie, but it's set in 1990.
Yeah.
With Mickey Rourke and Anthony Hopkins, and it's got Kelly Lynch in it from Roadhouse.
Yeah. And
it is literally like it's so fucking unnecessary. Like the opening sequence where Mickey Rourke's character takes her hostage, and he like from the courtroom. Takes her down the stairs, pulls her shirt so her tits are up.
Why?
And it's just like, why? So now she's running outside with her breasts hanging out, and it's like, again, why? Then there's another scene where FBI are wiring her up, and she's just topless. And it's like, again, the only reason for that to happen is because you just want the audience to...
Yeah, you can think of a number like Trading Places,
Trading Places is another
I love that film. I still love that movie. But like, it's unnecessary, isn't it? You don't really need it.
I feel like, you know what? I feel this is going to be like the running thread throughout all of these action movies. Like, we're going to have this moment where it's like, was that sex scene necessary or not?
Yeah.
Is that... Did it drive the plot?
It don't drive the plot, does it? It's just like we need to put it in. And you can see it. It's just ticking numbers, isn't it? It's ticking numbers. We need to get this type of audience or whatever. And probably a bit like, you know, Fast and Furious, where it's like we need to get certain muscle shots and car shots in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, even Van Damme in this film gets like. He, like that shot where he's doing the splits.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
But that's his signature move. Though.
Yeah,
he has to do the splits.
In lycra.
Yeah, but that's another one because he has to show his bum.
And he has to do the little hipster thing.
Yeah,
I mean, he's very good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just like, oh, I see. So you took because you're trying to get the female fans in and all that sort of stuff. So.
And he did.
Yeah. So but yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
But I did think about this. Like when I was watching the film, I was thinking, this is unnecessary? But then after the film, I actually thought, it's their imagination all syncing up at the same time. So, and it's just to show you all of them have the same kind of thoughts, some from a negative point of view and some from a positive. So Chad is looking at it. He's obviously really, really attracted to her. Alex is jealous of Chad, so he's looking at it from a negative point of view. And Danielle, she's kind of conflicted, but you know that there's something there's a chemistry there between them. So she's obviously going to think about him.
Yeah, because it must be confusing for her because they look exactly like each other, and she's probably wanting her boyfriend to show more of a sensitive side, and all of a sudden this guy turns up, he looks exactly like him with a sensitive side. But yeah, you know what I mean. So but I think I liked it. I thought it was alright. I thought it was alright. Me, I thought, you know, when I watched the whole way through, there's some bits in it I thought, you know, it's sort of dragging a little bit.
Yeah,
they're just trying to get to the point where, you know, we have the big showdown, the big fight scenes and stuff like that. There's obviously holes in the plot all the way through it. Frankie, he's a bit of a dick as well, isn't he? You know, Uncle Frank.
Yeah, I just don't understand.
He's unnecessarily aggressive to make your boy's girlfriend. Like, it's like he's a proper like yeah. I don't know what that came from. Like his escalation to like just be really like aggressive towards her. You know, right at the beginning when she's sitting there, she makes a suggestion. And he goes, "All right, girlie."
Yeah.
It's like, why are you being so mean for? I don't get it. Like.
Yeah, and
it's quite nasty actually. I think there's issues with Frank, man.
Yeah, this was I was thinking the same. It's like, does he not like women or does he not like girls?
Yeah, well, he's an angry dude, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an angry dude and he's vengeful. Vengeful.
Yeah, he's vengeful, isn't he? But then again, I guess he's been through a lot of stuff, man. Those people from Nam, you know, they went through a lot of stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, and the fact is, he's raised his kid as his own.
But
now he wants his revenge, doesn't he?
It's like everything was just set up really quickly. So.
Yeah.
Cut to 25 years later, where they're in Hollywood, and then some random guy gives him pictures where he finds Alex. Then he calls Chad and says, "I'm not really your uncle. We need to go to Hong Kong." Okay, cool. Chad doesn't say anything. They go to Hong Kong, meet up with Alex, and then he just sits there and goes, "Yeah, this is your brother. This is your brother. Here are the pictures. This is what happened. Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And it's just like. What the fuck? If I was Alex,
real quick,
I'd still be a bit dubious and just like, I don't know, mate. Fuck you.
There would be, yeah. And also as well, I mean, they took that news pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Really, I mean, Chad took that news pretty well, and it's it's funny when he meets Alex's girlfriend. He's just like, yeah, I've got something really big to give you or something like that. It's like that doesn't really happen, mate. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit suspicious here, but yeah, I just thought, yeah, they all kind of take the news quite well. All of a sudden, it's like, yeah, so this is so was it your dad's company? Okay, so it's your dad's company, but how are you going to prove it? Because she does actually talk sense. She's like, but how's that going to stand up in the court of law? Where's the evidence? He goes, shut up, girlie.
Yeah.
It's like he hasn't thought that bit through, has he? He's just like, okay.
So they're just trying to like take back their company.
Pretty much, yeah. I think they're trying to like get revenge by killing them guys off and take back the company, and then Matey Boy, like at the end, you know. I think the guy, the Hong Kong gangster, he says, "I'll give you 50%," you know, and he's like, "Nah, he wants it all," sort of thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like, well, and that Griffith guy, obviously, it's always the bad guys, always English, aren't they? Always like posh and English.
So Griffith is the one that who double crossed
him, yeah, to take. So he probably took the lion's share of the company to kill him off, so he can. But this still doesn't make much sense to me. But yeah.
All right, let's fill in the blank. I'm just gonna say that he took it, so then he could launder the other guy's money to make it clean.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Because he was getting funded by the mob guy. What's his name? I can't remember.
I forget his name now.
And
forget his name now.
So from that's what he was using he was using that to get funded, and then he was like cleaning that money.
Yeah, I think so. So he wanted to use a business to to watch Dirty Money, and Matey Boy they killed was probably quite straight about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I would I'd say that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So he needs to get rid of him so he can have the business for himself, which he did do for a good few years.
Yeah, for 25 years.
Yeah, a good few years, really. And you kind of think, in all that time and all the resources that you had, you never once thought you could try and find the twins. I mean, there's one white guy in the whole of Hong Kong.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to be fair, they didn't know. Did they think that they were dead by then?
Well, there's the thing. She goes running off into the woods.
Yeah.
With the baby, and then he goes, and then Matey Boy goes running off in the woods with the other baby, and they're all saying chase, 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 and then they obviously never caught up with him. So
yeah,
I mean, they've got resources. I would have thought they'd try and then you've seen this white guy walking around Hong Kong. You think, where's he come from?
Yeah, but to be fair, Hong Kong around that time, you still had, because it was part of the British Empire.
Oh yeah, you had a lot of business people.
Yeah, business people. So it could have been anyone.
Yeah.
It could have been anyone at that point. And plus the fact that because he had a French accent, they would never have guessed any.
Yeah, because they were actually British, weren't they?
Yeah, they're British.
They're British, yeah. And that's interesting. But there's a few shots that I quite like. They nicked it from Bruce Lee.
Which
but,
one?
Like silhouette.
Oh yeah.
And it's all a bit slow mo.
Yeah.
And he does like the punch, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? I thought that was quite good. I quite like that, Obviously, it's overblown, but they got that from Bruce Lee, man.
Yeah, easily. Shots. I mean, like everyone was influenced by Bruce Lee around that time, anyway.
And he can kick, can't he?
Yeah.
He can kick. And so I thought he held his own. I thought he did well. He can act.
That's the thing, yeah. For what he had, and with that budget as well, yeah, he can. He did well. I think that was peak Van Damme. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think I don't know enough about Van Damme stuff, other than the few films that I've watched, but he can act.
Yeah, so apparently
there's little nuancy bits that he did with the performance. I thought, he's actually acting here.
Yeah,
he's not like
Surprised to that, he obviously did Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Lionheart, which was AWOL, Death Warrant, and then what else was there? I think that was it. And then it was Double Impact. So by the time he got to Double Impact, he wanted to show his range and everything. That's why he made this film. And apparently he got paid, I believe it was $600,000 for it.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a lot, but the budget was 15 to 16 million, and the box office in America was 30 million, which is really good because this is summer of 1991, which it came out in August 1991. Don't forget, summer of 1991 was Terminator 2, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That summer.
Shit. Wow.
It was that summer. So it held its own.
That's a good film, that.
Which one?
Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
You haven't seen that in ages.
It's a good film. For what it is, it's a good film.
So the opening weekend was 7.5 million, released on August the 9th, 1991. And it just held its own. And then obviously it just took off when it came out on video as well, and like internationally as well, because it was based in Hong Kong. So it did really well in other territories worldwide. And then it kind of cemented him as a box office star to a certain extent. So from that's when he went on to do Universal Soldier, and he started commanding bigger paychecks. And then he just got a bit too big for his boots because he wanted the same amount of money that Stallone was making and Schwarzenegger was making, and then he effectively got blacklisted like years later.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
He got blacklisted.
He got blacklisted. Like he says it in his reality show that he did back about 15 years ago. That one, he was hooked on coke and stuff, and he was doing drugs, but he was demanding 25 million plus because he was saying if Stallone's getting it and Arnie's getting it, he should be getting it. And then Hollywood just turned their backs on him.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to roll the dice sometimes, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he was an action star.
Yeah, and he fucked up, and he knows, and he said that he made a mistake by doing that because then he had to go back straight to video movies. And
it's a tricky one though, isn't it? Because sometimes I don't know what he was. Obviously, so he was coked up and whatnot. But for me, if you're the star of a movie and you're carrying that movie, and the movie's making millions, and you're only getting a very, very small fraction, and you're told just to like it and lump it, I kind of think, at some point you should really, if it's not you doing it, your agent should be doing it for you to negotiate a bit more.
Yeah.
Why not? everyone else is making money off you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, fair enough. 25 million might be a bit of a stretch, but you are the guy. You are the guy who's carrying the movie. And it's like, if you weren't doing that movie, who's the next star then? You know, you're gonna have to pay the next star more money, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, you should get paid. But yeah, maybe 25 million was a bit too much of an ask. But he should have had a good agent for him. I would have thought. That's what they're paid to do, isn't it? They're to get the best sort of deal for you. So, you know what I mean, but I do like Van Damme. I think he's got charisma. I think he's definitely got charisma, and I think he held his own. I'd have to see some more of his films again to sort of remind myself his sort of range. But
yeah, I mean, overall,
it's all right. Overall, it's for what it is. It's a 2.5 out of 5. You know, for me.
Is that what you would give it?
Yeah, 2.5. I mean, that's you know, it's not completely bad. It's not great. It's just about getting to the sort of the average bit. But it's 2.5.
Yeah, I tell you what I didn't like. It was blatantly obvious. The bloody stand-in that played his twin whenever he was like acting off that person, because you could blatantly see it's not him.
Yeah.
And that was played by his brother.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And like even bits where they're fighting, it's just like really wooden or acting, just the movements and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, it's so blatantly fucking obvious. Like today, it wouldn't be an issue because of the UCG and the way they place it.
Yeah.
But apparently at the time when they did that, a lot of studios took note of how they did the blocking with the twins and stuff.
Yeah, was that like sort of groundbreaking?
Yeah, for what it was around that time, for what they tried to achieve, it was pretty groundbreaking.
I mean, I thought it was all
Even though there were films before that, prior to that, where people play twins, there's always been films where people play twins. And apparently Hollywood loved it so much that he plays doubles in Maximum Security, in Time Cop as well, and there's another film.
Oh, Time Cop. Yeah, I've seen Time Cop. I'm saying all these old movies, I can't even remember them now. Yeah. I need to watch that again. Time Cop. I remember that. Yeah, Universal Soldier, Time Cop, Hard Target.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, all those ones. AWOL.
Yeah.
Absence Without Leave. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That was a good film. We're gonna do that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, overall, did you say 2.5?
Overall, 2.5, man. For what it was, there's some things that were a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, we already talked about and stuff. But I think Van Damme, I'll give him his dues. He can act, and he's got charisma. And I think the action scenes were right. The fighting scenes were right as well.
Yeah.
I think he held his own. And I think the guy was an athlete in his day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Proper athlete in his day. You can see why he got those roles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I'd watch it again.